Throughout combat sports history, no fantasy matchup has generated more debate than watching two legends from completely different worlds collide in the ring. When we imagine Benny The Jet Urquidez, the undefeated kickboxing master, facing off against Iron Mike Tyson, the most feared heavyweight boxer of his generation, we're witnessing the ultimate clash of fighting philosophies: precision versus power, technique versus intimidation, and speed versus brute force.
Benny Urquidez dominated the world of kickboxing and full-contact karate throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Standing at 5'6" and fighting at around 160 pounds, the Jet possessed lightning-fast reflexes, devastating leg kicks, and an unorthodox fighting style that made him virtually unbeatable. His professional record was an astounding 49-1-1 in kickboxing, with his only loss coming via controversial decision. Urquidez was renowned for his ability to close distance rapidly, his spinning kicks, and his incredible conditioning that allowed him to maintain a blistering pace throughout entire fights.
Mike Tyson, in his prime, 1985 to 1990, was perhaps the most feared heavyweight boxer of all time. At 5'10" and fighting around 218 pounds, Tyson combined devastating knockout power with explosive speed and aggressive pressure fighting. His record during this period was 37-0 with 33 knockouts, showcasing his ability to end fights with a single punch. Tyson's peekaboo style, taught by Custom Auto, made him incredibly difficult to hit cleanly, while allowing him to unleash devastating combinations from close range. The contrast in fighting styles between these two warriors couldn't be more pronounced. Urquidez represented the complete martial artist, comfortable striking with hands, feet, elbows, and knees. His karate background gave him exceptional distance management and timing, while his kickboxing experience taught him how to cut off the ring and apply pressure. The Jet was particularly dangerous with his leg kicks, which could disable an opponent's mobility, and his ability to switch stances fluidly mid-combination. Tyson, conversely, was pure boxing excellence distilled into its most destructive form. His low, crouched stance allowed him to slip punches while closing distance, and his explosive uppercuts and hooks could end fights instantly. Tyson's head movement was exceptional, making him incredibly difficult to hit with clean shots. His psychological warfare was equally impressive. Opponents were often beaten before they even entered the ring. In a fantasy encounter between these two legends, the fight would likely unfold in several distinct phases. The opening moments would be crucial, with Urquidez attempting to establish distance and begin working his leg kicks to slow down Tyson's aggressive forward movement. The kickboxer's strategy would center on using his full arsenal of strikes to keep the boxer at bay while slowly breaking down his legs and body. Tyson's approach would be to pressure Urquidez immediately, using his superior size and punching power to end the fight quickly. The boxer would need to get inside the kickboxer's kicking range and unleash his devastating hand combinations. Tyson's experience in cutting off the ring would be invaluable in preventing Urquidez from maintaining his preferred distance. Several key factors would determine the outcome of this fantasy matchup. First, the rule set would be crucial. Under pure boxing rules, Tyson would have an enormous advantage, while under kickboxing or MMA rules, Urquidez would be favored. Second, the conditioning factor would become increasingly important as the fight progressed, with Urquidez's superior cardiovascular fitness potentially becoming decisive in later rounds. The psychological aspect cannot be overlooked. Tyson's intimidation factor was legendary, but Urquidez was known for his mental toughness and had faced intimidating opponents throughout his career. The kickboxer's experience in different combat disciplines might give him an edge in adapting to Tyson's unique style. Despite Urquidez's technical brilliance and diverse skill set, Mike Tyson would likely emerge victorious in this fantasy encounter. The determining factors would be Tyson's significant size and strength advantage, his devastating punching power, and his ability to end fights with a single blow. While Urquidez would certainly have moments of success, particularly with his leg kicks and superior conditioning, Tyson's experience in cutting off the ring and his exceptional head movement would eventually allow him to close the distance. Once inside, Tyson's power advantage would be overwhelming. The boxer's ability to slip punches while simultaneously launching devastating counters would eventually overcome even Urquidez's defensive skills. Tyson's psychological warfare and intimidation factor would also play a role. His reputation for destroying opponents quickly would create additional pressure on Urquidez to end the fight early, potentially leading to tactical mistakes that Tyson could exploit. Regardless of the theoretical outcome, both fighters represent the pinnacle of their respective disciplines. Urquidez revolutionized kickboxing and proved that smaller fighters could dominate through skill and conditioning. Tyson showed that boxing, when perfected, could be the most devastating striking art in combat sports. This fantasy matchup reminds us why cross-disciplinary discussions continue to fascinate combat sports fans. While we may never know the true outcome, the debate itself honors the incredible achievements of both warriors and their lasting impact on martial arts history.